Happy Virtual Wednesday. One more of these after today. All right, today we're going to talk about sales tax. Sales tax is a state-based tax on purchased items. And it's different for each state. Each state gets to decide their own sales tax, and it's consistent statewide. That's to be a law. So most states are around 7%. Some are a little bit less, like 5%, or a little bit more, maybe 8 or 9%. In Indiana, I think right now it's exactly 7%, but it bounces around from year to year based on the governor and who's making the laws. Then there are 5 states that don't have any sales tax: Alaska, Delaware, Montana, New Hampshire, and Oregon. So if you buy something at the store there, they don't add any tax. Now that must mean that they are getting tax dollars from somewhere else. They wouldn't be allowed to do this. Again, it just means that they're getting their money for somewhere else. And they don't tax any unprepared food. So think about what unprepared food would mean. That would mean like raw vegetables, fruits, meat, but anything that's been prepared in any way. Seasoned. If they season the meat, now they can tax it. If they put it into a special liquid like a can, they put it into some sort of juice or vegetable juice or fruit juice, and they can it. Now it's been prepared. Now they can tax it. Again, milk, it's been processed, they can tax it. But anything that's been unprepared, just picked, washed, and handed out, those things would not be taxed. So again, at the grocery store, some things are taxed and some things are not. It's kind of unusual. Now you might be wondering, what do they use this for? So they use it for things like schools, roads, public services like firefighters, police, things like that. So any kind of social services, social workers, group homes, places like that. Any kind of place that doesn't make money. I mean, think about a school. We don't make any money. What are we selling? Nothing. Nothing at all. So, again, with places like that, they need federal funding or government funding, and this is where they get the money for those things. Same thing with things like street signs and street lights and sidewalks and, painted lines on the road and things like that. All that stuff has to come from somewhere, and this is one of the places where the government gets that money. It's from sales tax. All right, so let's try a problem. All right, so again, tax, it's paid to the retailer, and the retailer then gives that money to the government. So you need to add the sales tax to the price of an item, and that'll give you your total amount. So here's how you find it. All right, again, the rate's usually given as a percent. We can see in our example here that we got a percent. I made it a decimal, even though Indiana's is actually just 7. I wanted to practice decimals. So to find the tax, we're going to multiply the rate as a decimal by the original price. So it says if the sales tax in Indiana is 7.5%, how much would you pay for a hat that cost $14.99? So what you're going to do is you're going to take that price of that hat, $14.99, and you're going to times it by the tax rate as a decimal. In this case, that would be 0.075. Again, you've got to move that decimal point 2 places. And I'm going to go ahead and times those. And I get 1.12425. But of course, that's too many decimals for money. So that means the sales tax, and we should round, would be 1.12. Now, if you round it up, because somewhere you'd heard money always rounds up, and it kind of does. Anytime something comes to talking is hard. Anytime something comes out to a big decimal like this, money, a lot of times they do round up. So if you put $1.13, I would say that would also be a correct answer. So there'd be multiple correct answers on this one, just depending on your perspective. All right, that'd be the first part. That was the sales tax. Now it says, how much would you pay for the hat that cost $14.99? Well, you wouldn't pay $14.99. You'd pay $14.99 plus either $1.12 or $1.13. I'll use the 13. So that's going to give us a total price of $16.12. All right, so that would be our total cost. So you wouldn't actually be paying $14.99. You're going to pay a little bit more. And again, that's sales tax. Now, obviously, when expensive items, the sales tax is really expensive. But for smaller items, it's hardly noticeable. All right, your work looks like this today. Enjoy.